Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another live match review on the Hotspur News channel. We've defeated Watford by a goal to nil in a very, very scrappy game, but 3 points is 3 points. Today we did what we couldn't do against Southampton, which was score a goal against a really defensive team. The first half was just us winning the ball back, passing out wide, crossing the ball in, Watford clearing it away, and that was pretty much it. Really, it was literally 45 minutes of that. Second half, I missed most of it because my hairstyle was messing up. But from what I heard, the second half was even worse than the first half. Watford just went full on part of the bus mode like they did for the whole game. But it took a 98th minute Davinson Sanchez header to win the game. A bit of controversy about a Watford penalty in the second half. People saying Watford robbed. In my opinion, just suck your mum. We should have had 2 penalties in the first half as well. The Harry Kane one and the Eric Dyer one. Yeah, so just suck me off. I don't care. Josh, 1-0 win up to down to West Ham. These fucking wankers.
No,
Yeah,
we're
it's
up to
Labour.
sixth. We're up to sixth.
So
But
sixth. Yeah, we're still in
3 points
sixth, but
behind Arsenal. I'd say it's good. I think we need to win like games like this if we want top four. I think at the end of the day, all in all, I think yes, scrappy win. Yes, maybe we shouldn't have won that game or we didn't deserve to, but we have to get points like this.
yeah.
Not everyone was great today, but
Sorry. Yeah. I think there was a few players that had really, really poor games, like going forward. Like offensively, they were really poor. One of them, and I've been saying this for a little while now. Emerson Royale, like, isn't like. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. He's he's definitely an upgrade defensively, but going forward, he hasn't got it. I think in January we need an attacking right back.
yeah, I agree. I think today showed. I think the first half and the second half. I think it showed his level of performance, like what he is as a player. Because in the first half, we dominated the ball. Attacking wise, he was terrible. The fuck is And then I think in the second half, he was better defensively and had a decent half. But I think that's more down to he had to defend more, which is Emerson's strongest point.
Yeah. Same with Regulon as well. Like, for the first time in a while, like personally, I think Regulon's a good crosser of the ball, but
I
today,
don't
like,
think. I think some people are reacting. I don't think Reguilon was bad today.
yeah, he was
I
alright,
thought
but
he was all right. I think he's definitely an improvement, but we need to improve around Gillon. I think Sessegnon's should start over him. I think, in my opinion, from what we've seen. Yeah.
he will start when he's back from injury. Like he'll probably start
Yeah.
against Chelsea, maybe. Maybe like I guess it depends what teams like both teams put out, but he'll definitely play against Morecambe as long as he's back on time. Had a decent line spell at Hoffenheim. Um, I believe him. Like I trust in Sessegnon, and although he got a red card against Mura, I still trust him.
Yeah, I agree.
It should have been more than 1-0. I'm not gonna lie. That chance Kane had in the first half. I mean, it's really poor missing the target. Like you can't
Yeah.
miss the target from that close.
Yeah. Son had a good chance at the end of that in the second half as well, but it's a good save, I think, more than anything. But yeah, I think as well, touching on that, I think the mentality of the team has got a lot better. Although we were lucky today, I
Yeah,
saw we still pushed on. Like, if that was us last year or a year or 2 years ago, we probably would have lost that game. Like, we still had the mentality to go forward, which
yeah,
improved in the
definitely.
lot.
Yeah, I was about to say that under Nuno, we would have lost that game 1-0 today, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's the biggest improvement I've seen. The mentality has got a lot better with Conte. And I think
Yeah,
maybe either
because
it's he's worked the players harder and said to them, like, just keep. Maybe I think it's maybe more of a fitness thing as
yeah,
well. Maybe because they're not as tired as they used to be because Conte's working them so hard. But at the end of the day, it's still an improvement, and I think so far that has been our biggest improvement with Conte. We keep pushing on, even in the end of games, which is something we didn't do
yeah,
before.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think ever since Conte's come in, like the intensity's got so much better. Like in
Yeah,
terms of our tempo going forward. Like I know at times, like especially in the first half of like particular games like Palace, West Ham Cup game, Leeds, like really slow tempo. But in the second half, it builds up. Whereas with Nuno, like that slow tempo would have lasted throughout the entire game almost. But yeah, 100% under Conte, like the intensity's so much better. Like the tempo is much quicker, and the players look a lot fitter as well. Like maybe, like I guess it is the catch-up effect. Maybe who knows? But yeah, but like ever since he's come in, like it's got a lot better. I just hope he's backed because if Conte can't do it, then no one else can. It's simple as that. So
yeah, I agree.
mm,
Yeah. Do you want to go on to play ratings now? Or
yeah,
actually, no. Should we talk about no? Let's talk about the penalty, or both. So, like, what was your thoughts
uh,
on that?
well they're both penalties, so I've got
Yeah.
nothing else to say about that.
I
Like
mean,
they're both
I am surprised the Dione one wasn't even checked. I mean, at the time you're like,
yeah.
no, that's not a penalty, and I'm like, how? Because he's literally being dragged down in the box.
Mm.
Like the guy
Was the Watford
pulls
one
him.
checked
No,
or not?
I think the Watford one was checked, and they said no. Because to be fair, in normal time, the Watford one doesn't look like a penalty. But then if you watch it back in slow mo,
Yeah, you watch
Lloris
it
just does
back.
not
Yeah,
win the ball. I think I think I think they should have given it on VAR because at the end of the day the referees made a mistake. But if there was no VAR, I don't think I complain or as a Watford fan because I think the referee can't really see it because from the angle of real time, you think anyway Lloris has won the ball because it's so tight. But if you actually watch it back on slow mo, like I said, it's like Lloris doesn't win the ball. So I
mm.
think I think it was. I don't blame the referee for that, but I think VAR made the mistake there. And I saw in the Arsenal game, yeah, I've seen Arsenal fans say they were robbed. They weren't robbed, right? Because both calls, I think that's a penalty, and I don't think the other one is a penalty. But the referee's was quite shocking in that game, and today the referee was shocking. He gave silly fouls. We could have easily had 2 or 3 penalties today.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there were the officiating in the league. There's a reason why they don't go to international tournaments.
I mean, the Dyer one
It's
was definitely a penalty. Like,
yeah,
I mean, the Kane one, I'm not too sure. Like, I think it's just pressure from the defender. I mean, like, I could be wrong, but yeah, like, I'm not sure if it. You know what? I'm gonna say I don't think the Kane one was a penalty, but the Dyer
yeah.
one certainly. Like, he literally got it was like some MMA thing in the box, and like it wasn't even jets. It
RKO out of nowhere.
was like some Khabib Nurmagomedov thing, like on McGregor, like just hauling him, like. Yeah, he just got wrestled down and
Yeah,
nothing, absolutely nothing. Like didn't even get checked. And yeah, but obviously Davison Sanchez coming clutch. I mean, I think he's been our most improved player on the Conte. What do you think?
yeah.
Do you
No,
agree or
I'd
not?
say I'd say Ben Davis probably has been our most improved player. But yeah, he came up big today, Sanchez. And again, I'm not the biggest fan of Romero coming straight back into the team because of how good our defense has been this year.
Yeah.
Dyer, Davis, and Sanchez have been magnificent. There were times today where, like, I think they're a bit. Maybe I'd put Romero back in, but I wouldn't be against it if Conte just sticks with them three, and
Mm.
then we'll see what happens with Romero. But at the end of the day, Sanchez has been very good, and I think people have not really realised that. I think they talked about Dyer and Davis more. Sanchez has been class all season. He only had
Mm.
really one bad game against Mura, and that was it.
Yeah, that's pretty
So
much it.
I think at the end of the day, I think he's been our most
Mm.
improved player of the season. I don't think under Conte, I think most improved player of this season.
Yeah. I mean, ever since like Sanchez came to Spurs, like I mean, like in his first season he was immense, but ever since that, his problem has been his consistency. Like I'm telling you, Sanchez is still quite young, and he has got the capability to be a very good defender. And I've seen that through particular games over the years that he's been at Spurs. But his main problem is that he'll have a he'll have an incredible game against Chelsea, for example, and score an own goal the next game. Like it's just his consistency that he struggles with.
Yeah,
But ever since Conte's come in, he's been consistent every game. He's been winning headers, and he's a good tackler as well. And he's still young. So, and you think about how well we've defended, and we've still got Christian Romero to go in there as well.
yeah, probably our best defender. and there's an actual debate about if he should come back in because of how good them three have been.
Yeah,
So it shows the level that they've upped. Because let's be real, right? They are Dyer, Sanchez, and Davis have been probably. If you'd asked me in the summer, oh yeah, who would you like to go the most? They'd probably be like top three.
yeah,
They'd be a lot. I think, especially maybe probably Sanchez and Davis. They'd probably be the players I would have sold, because I think they've been. I think for the past couple of seasons, I think Dyer and Sanchez. I think Dyer fell off last 2 years. I think Davis has been poor since I think the season where season after we came second, and I think Sanchez has been poor probably since Pochettino's left. So I think I honestly I wanted to sell them because I feel like we could improve on them, but they've shown like how good they've been, and I think Sanchez always had the potential, but I think his consistency was the problem. I think
yeah.
Dyer as well. I think Dyer's just I don't know what's happened to Dyer, to be honest, because he's become a lot better. I think he's just found a new role. I think in the team.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they've improved a lot, and credit to them because the defense has been our best thing this season. It's kind of been the reverse of last year. It has. I
Who would
think
have thought?
if you told me that last a year ago, I would have laughed. I would have absolutely laughed because we lost Toby. Um, Romero came in, um, and we were playing Dyer and what Sanchez beginning of the season. Like if you told me at the beginning of the season, I would have laughed my head off because
Mm.
I think we had such a good attack last year with Bale, Kane, and Son, and then like that split apart, and then it's weird, isn't it? How it can change
Mm.
like that in one season. But yeah,
Mm.
do you want to
All
go
right, so
on to the match ratings?
yeah, but like I'm gonna do my ratings based on the first half because that's what I watched.
All right,
I
fairs.
watched the first half.
I'll do it then. I'll do it then. Just ask me.
All right, Lloris.
You know, he made a really good save from Josh King. Didn't have a lot to do. Could have gave the penalty away, but the Josh King save was magnificent. I'm probably gonna give him an 8. I thought
Yeah,
that save. I think if that goes in, we probably lose. So
yeah.
yeah, I'd say 8.
Re-
I'd say 7. I thought he was decent. I think his crossing was quite poor, but I thought defensively he did quite well. I think it's a big improvement on Southampton, so I'll give him a 7.
yeah. Dyer.
7 as well. I thought he had a decent game. He, there were points where I think his pings were quite good as always, but I thought he was solid again. That whole back four three was solid. Didn't really make that many mistakes. Dealt with Josh King and Emmanuel Dennis. They literally came off at half time because of how shit he was. So yeah, I think that was a probably gave Dyer a 7.
Yes. All right. Ben Davis.
I thought Ben Davis was our best player today. I
Really?
thought, yeah, I thought his passing was good. Defensively, he worked hard. I think there was times where he recovered balls from midfield quite well and got some of our players out of danger. So I'll give Davis a 9.
All right. Sanchez.
Sanchez, I'll give Sanchez an 8.5. I thought Sanchez was good today. Obviously, he got the vital goal, which probably is the reason why he gets him higher than Dyer. But
Yeah.
I thought he was really good today, just like always. That back three again, immense. But yeah, and we need goals to come from everywhere. I think really, and I think
Yeah.
that's maybe one of our problems the last 2 years. We haven't really had a lot of goals coming from everywhere on the pitch.
Mm.
So yeah, I'll give Sanchez an 8.5.
Emerson Royale.
Ooh, I think the first half he was a bit crap, but I think he made up for the second half. So I'll probably give him. I'll give him a 6.5 because I thought he
Yeah,
was
based on what I
decent.
saw first half, I'll give him a 6. I mean, he was fine defensively. He's definitely not great defensively, but just hasn't got it going forward, and his crossing show
I
that
mean,
today.
I wouldn't mind. I think Emerson and getting an attacking fullback would not be the worst idea because you could rotate between them in certain games where it fits more with the opposition. Like if we have to defend more, for example, against like a Manchester City or like a Chelsea, you play an Emerson
Mm,
or something like that. So yeah, I think getting in a new right back would be good.
yeah. Højbjerg.
Just like we said, if he was a woman, he'd be Ashford wet, just meaty. So I'll probably give Hoiberg a 6 again, just meaty. I think there were actually no. I'll give him 5.5. I think he lost the ball a couple of times. There was times like classic Hoiberg. But don't get me wrong, I like Hoiberg, but I kind of have to admit now he's kind of a passion merchant. Like
Could be a
he
good
is.
leader. But
Yeah, he's a yeah.
if
I
Hugo
think that
goes this
works.
summer, if Hugo
He's
goes this summer, he should be our captain.
Yeah, I think he's useful for like a rotation player, but we need someone in that midfield position. If like a player with the work rate of Oliver Skip and the passing of Tanga Underbelly, that's what we need in
Yeah,
one player. We need that. But at the end of the day, yeah, I'll probably give Højbjerg 5.5 because the passing was a bit off today.
yeah, true.
Um,
I
but I
mean,
feel like he recovered the ball quite well, especially in that second half.
yeah, that's the reason I was going to give him a 6.5 based on his first half performance. Like, I lost count of how many times he won the ball back for us, but he just hasn't got it. But he just hasn't got it in terms of creativity, and we need someone creative midfielder in
Like I
January.
think,
But
in my opinion, I think Winks is a better option because I think he has a better range of passing than Højbjerg, and we saw that when Winks came on, we look better attacking wise because Winks can move the ball around for one quicker, which is something he's all of a sudden just randomly improved on with Conte, which in the last 3 months, which I think maybe he's works on a lot with Winks. But I think to be honest, I think in the future we're going to use that free midfield. But I wouldn't put. I think we should use it now because I think playing Højbjerg, for one, I think he gets the best out of Son and Kane because I think they can link up. I think Højbjerg, Skip, and Winks could actually be quite a decent midfield,
mm,
and I think it's quite good because I think you can overload the teams in midfield and yeah. So I think 3-5-2 would be good for us.
um, Skip,
8. I thought he was good today.
yeah, he was good. Yeah,
I think if that goal goes in, the one where Kane should have scored, I think that's a very, very. I think his pressing was quite good today. I think he won the ball back up loads of times, and I think against Southampton we missed him. We missed Skip because I think his work rate, especially in the final third, and his pressuring, was the reason why we didn't really get our half in that first half against Southampton. Um,
mm,
and let's be real, if he probably starts, we win that game. So, yeah, I'll give Skip an 8. I thought, again, I think he got subbed off because he was on a yellow card. So Conte
yeah,
subbed him off because he was involved in a lot of tackles and he was only one tackle away from getting sent off. So I think bringing on Winks for him was the right call. But I would really like to see them two play together to see what they'd be like. So I think it
mm,
would be very interesting.
yeah. Lucas Moura.
I'll give Lucas. I'd say he
I was
made a
going to
good
say Skip.
pass to Son. I think there were I think he just did not do what he normally does today, like run into the box and dribble. There was that good ball to Son, which to be honest was a brilliant save by Backman. But I'd probably give him 6. Because I think he had
Yeah,
little moments, but he didn't really impact the game that much.
yeah. Um, Son.
Um, you know what? That cross at the end was very good for the set piece and probably saves him from getting less than a 5. I'm going to give him a 6 because that assist was vital. And that shows Son as a player, I think, especially this season. He can
I
have a
thought in
really
the
quick
first
read.
half, I thought in the first half he had a couple half decent moments, but like last few games his touch has been so off it. It's been
Yeah.
so poor. Like
But I
his
think,
first,
yeah, I agree. I think his first touch has been quite poor.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
think,
He did have a couple half decent moments, but his touch has been so poor last few games. Like I don't care if he scored against Palace or Norwich. Like his performances recently have dropped off a little bit, and I want him to be firing for Arsenal in a couple of weeks' time. So Hopefully, he
Yeah,
gets back to his old self.
I think as well that showed in it. Son's type of player. He'll all of a sudden be like very good and like he'll be really crap at one point, and then all of a sudden he'll do something to create the winning goal. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember there was a point I think when Mourinho he was had like three really bad games, but he scored in all of them.
yeah.
And I think that shows. I think that shows Son is a quality player.
Mm.
Because that's what quality players do. They can have a bad game and still impact it in a huge way. So yeah, although I think Son needs to still up his game, and I think it's becoming quite worrying that he's not done it yet, and we're in January. But yeah, I give Son a 6.
And finally, Kane.
Poor game I think today. He didn't really impact the play in the second half, but he should have scored. For Kane's like stature and his performances like over the course of his career, he should score that goal.
Yeah, he should
Like
score.
I expect him to score. He didn't really affect the second half. I don't think that was his fault, but I thought he was all right in the first half. I don't really think he got the service.
Mm.
So I think I'd probably give Kane 5. Because I don't think his touch was bad. I think his technique was quite good today.
You know what?
Um,
I
but I
disagree with you because
well,
personally, like I know he missed a really good chance, but I thought Kane was our most dangerous player on the ball today. Because you notice in the first half, when he got on the ball, like every time he glided past at least one or two Watford players before releasing it off to Emerson or Reguilon to
yeah,
put it straight to the keeper. But
true.
but in the first half, like I thought he was our most dangerous player on the ball. Like I know he should have scored. I agree with that, and he missed a big chance. But on the ball, like compared to other games this season, he looked a lot better. Um, and and apart from that miss, I don't think he did anything wrong, did he?
No, not really. But I just mean for Kane's ability and his stature, I think it was quite a poor game today.
Maybe, maybe.
So yeah, I give him 5. But yeah, what did you give him?
I was going to give him like based on his first half performance, I'll give him a 7.
No, I think that's fair. To be fair, I would have probably done that as well because I think he dropped off in that second half.
Yeah,
So
well there
yeah,
you go then, because I didn't watch it. So
yeah, but yeah.
5 for you. So let's do the subs because there's a few that came on quite early on.
Yeah.
Who came on?
Winks,
Winks
Gill,
came on, didn't he?
and I think Gill would just leave out because Gill didn't really impact the game because it was like after the Watford fan. By the way, we pray for that Watford fan, that
Oh
collapsed on
yeah,
the pitch. Just to say, we hope he's okay right now.
I think he is.
Yeah, so that's probably the
It's
more
getting a bit
important thing.
frightening now, isn't it? There's more cardiac arrests every week, isn't there? And that's two at
Yeah,
Watford
no,
now.
they don't know. I don't think that one knows an illness. They said they never said it was a cardiac arrest.
Hmm.
So I don't think the one at Watford, the other one was a cardiac arrest. I think he just fell.
You know what?
So
I agree. Like, I don't think it was a cardiac arrest because if it was a cardiac arrest, then the players would have been asked to go off the pitch, and the delay would have been gone on for longer. Like I think it was just like I don't know, he like fainted or something. I don't know.
but yeah, at the end of the day, I think just we have to pray. If you're religious or anything, just pray for that Watford fan. But yeah, going on to the subs. Uh, I think
Yeah, who
Winks
came
will
on?
go
Winks came
first.
on.
I think Winks,
Brian
Gill, but
Hill
I'm
came
gonna
on. I know that.
don't leave, just leave Gill because he didn't really do anything in the game. Who else came on? If there was a third sub, but I can't remember who it was. Oh, Lo Celso. Lo
Oh
Celso
yeah,
was our third sub. Giovanni La Shit Show.
I don't think he had it. I don't think he had enough time really to impact the game.
No, Lo Celso came on like 70th minute, so
Did he?
or 75th, yeah. So he was on for a bit. I'll give Lo Celso a rating. But yeah, for Winks, I thought he was decent coming on. I don't think he was terrible. I think he's improved a lot. I think his passing was definitely better than Højbjerg. He was an improvement on Højbjerg, and I said that at the time. It wasn't a bad idea, but I'll give him. I don't think any of the subs really impact the game, but I'll probably give him a 6.
6, yeah. What's like?
You don't
I
know,
was
innit?
giving him a
So
6 as well. Like, I can't remember what he did. Winks, no, Winks I'll give a 7 just because of that sliding challenge after the goal.
oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
I think Winks
So
is. done well under Conte as well. And I never thought I'd say this, but I'm glad we're keeping him because he is a
Yeah.
good passer of the ball.
I mean, it shows a certain Daddy Alley that you actually could have stayed in January if you tried your hardest.
Yeah, there you go then.
Yeah. But yeah,
Um,
going on to
Brian
Lo
Hill.
Celso. Oh no, we're gonna leave Gil because Gil came on like just before the goal, and then nothing happened
Well,
second wise.
yeah, well, Lo, I can't remember what he did, so I'll just give him a
Um,
six as well.
Lascelles shit show. Going on the pitch and absolutely not impacting the game. Still being in second midfielder. I'll probably give him six. He did nothing. Brian Hill 6 did nothing. So yeah.
Yeah, six. Yeah,
Alright, do you want to round it off?
I think that's it. Isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Right. Okay. Happy New Year, people. I'm gonna go for a wank, like a glorious wank. After that victory. And by the way, the West Ham vlog got seven. It's on 75 views now,
Yeah, I know. I saw it.
and the
Um,
Southampton watch longs are like 50, so that's all right. Thank you guys for watching this match review. Hope you guys have a good year. We will see you for the next watch long, which is what? When's the next game?
do you want
Morecambe.
to do Morecambe? Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
just
won't
do
be there.
Morecambe. I'm not
I
even
think
going.
I'm. I think I'm going.
You going Morecambe?
I think so. Yeah. I need to
Mol-
check. What a
love
fucking team.
Love a bit of Morecambe. Right. Thank you guys for watching this match, not preview,